Hey YouTube! Welcome everybody to my channel, Tina's Knitting Needle. My name is Tina. If you are a returning viewer, how you doing? Welcome back. And if you are a new subscriber and viewer, welcome, welcome. It's been about 2 weeks, maybe 3 we're going on. I got a lot going on. I'm going to explain a couple of things. I'm going to show some of my small mini hauls that I had for Valentine's Day, and then something I picked up for my Centro, which I got a new Centro. That box is probably in the closet. I should have brought it out. So we're going to hit pause for a second so I can show the box at least. Alrighty, we're back. So I got my Centro knitting machine here. I have it taken apart. As I said, I'm not going to show any of my whips that I've shown before because I really haven't put a lot of work into it. I've been, sorry with the hair, I just fixed it and it's all everywhere. I've been not so well again. I've been in hospital again. Just medication mix-ups for my surgery that I had about almost a month ago. And so I haven't been really feeling well. I've been working at nighttime. I do work for Target at night. And as of 2 days ago, I am now an employee at Michael's. I start tomorrow. Yay! So I'm in the crafting world. I am super excited. Don't ask me about any yarns, any sales. I am not allowed to disclose things like that, but I promise when it's finally released, and I'm pretty sure I get my hands on something first, with, of course, the, hey, we're releasing all this stuff, it's on online, or Mikey from the Crochet crowd said something, that I'll be a part of that. But I'm just happy to finally be a part of the crafting world. I've been wanting to work for Michael's for God knows how long. I think since my daughter is 9, so I've been crocheting and knitting for about 11 years now, 2 years before she was born. So I think I've been wanting to get into Michael's now for almost 9 years, because I already had 2 years under my belt. So that's going to be early morning shift. Come home, sleep for a few hours, take care of the kids, the husband, the family, dinner, you name it, and then get to Target for the night job. So you're going to see a lot of lack of me on YouTube and TikTok. I'll try to do my shorts and then post them up here as a short as well. But yeah, I like I said, I've been busy with my night job, and then I've been ill all day. Just basically, to keep it short, I'm allergic to a certain medication, and I haven't taken anything in the penicillin family in over 27 years. So when I had gotten my surgery done on my teeth, they told me, okay, we're going to give you amoxicillin, which everything worked out fine. Everything was okay with it. I guess 2 or 3 days after I was done with the medication, it kind of went dormant, didn't do anything. And then almost about a week and a half ago, I started breaking out into full-blown hives about 3, 4, 5 times a day. So finally, I couldn't take it no more. I was rocking the Freddy Krueger. It was so bad. I finally went to the hospital this weekend, and they said, yep, most likely you were having an allergic reaction to the amoxicillin, even though it's been weeks since you've last taken it. So if you see red patches start popping up, it's okay. I already took my Benadryl. I took all my prednisones, trying to keep it under control. So between that, excuse me, I didn't want to go on camera and have a full-blown, just hive, everywhere. I just couldn't. As far as whips go, we're not going to show those, but I do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 finished projects. It's actually 6, but my husband is wearing his hat. 3 of them I made on the Centro. We'll get into the Centro. And then I have a small, like I said, little haul that I did real quick. Nothing expensive, just, Valentine's Day. I hit the clearance section, only had a few dollars. And then I made something for my wedding bands, because I have a thing about switching out my wedding bands every 3 to 6 months. They're just pretty. So, anywho, we're going to jump right in, because I'm going to save the Centro for last and talk about her. And a couple other little purchases, late birthday gifts. As you can see, I just got myself the Star-Lord from the first movie, when he is in the beginning of the movie, and he's singing Come and Get Your Love. And this little baby, the very first vinyl, finally came in about an hour ago. So I didn't want the deluxe. I wanted the original Star-Lord's background. So got all my little vinyls going, and we got Star-Lord up there, and you got the Milano and all of them sitting up there. So anywho, let me get into something that I made first, because just bang it out the way. So I didn't want to spend too much money on a display case and plastic cases, whatever. So of course I went onto a DIY and how to make ring holders. So I got this nifty little box over in the Dollar General for I think $3. And then I picked up a couple of rollers for $1. So we're at $5, but it's okay. I went ahead and put all the rollers in and display all my wedding bands. Nifty little box here. And then there's enough room, so if I keep collecting any kind of rings or wedding bands, just put the next layer on top. So I made that, and that cost me, as I said, $5 just to make this. So that's over and done with. DIY. So I'm going to jump into a couple of things I did show last time, and we'll do the little purchases, and then we'll talk about the Central. So a couple weeks back, I was talking about how I started this back in October. This is the Pinwheel by the Crochet Crowd. I started this in October and had a lot of personal things going on in life. So I kind of just put it on the back burner for a little while. I broke it out maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago when I did my last video and said I was going to work on it. I think I banged it out within 2 hours. Usually I like these pinwheels from foot all the way to about maybe right here. I like to make them humongo. Again, between not feeling too well and I have so many other projects I wanted to start. And I did say in that video, I wanted a Centro. I was going to bite the bullet. And as soon as I got off, I ordered it. Now, mind you, I did get it off of Temu. So I didn't pay a full $70 to $80 for her. It's an actual Centro. I paid $28 for her with tax, $32. But thankfully, I've been doing my homework on videos, figured out what was wrong with her. So I bit the bullet. I got her. Because I had got her and I knew she was coming in 2 weeks, I have to get some kind of projects done. Just get it done. So my pinwheel, as I said, she's basically a lap can. That's what she was meant to be. And all I had to do, I had 2 rows of the black done, so I just had to bang out another row of the black, and then I had to put her shells on. So that took me about maybe 2 hours, and she was officially done. I'm going to pause this for 1 second. Okay, I'm back. My baby stepped in just to say hi. My daughter. Anywho, so the next project I had going was... Now, again, I don't have a specific pattern for this. I kind of just pulled from all different videos, not actual videos, like how to start a hexagon, how to keep going. I might have pulled, how to start the decreases on a sleeve. So I want to say about 5 or 6 different videos, but I watched snippets and clips of most of it. So it's not like, I followed a pattern and I'm not going to give them credit because, trust me, I would give them credit. I do know, however, I did watch again, Mikey from the Crochet Crowd, how to start a hexagon. This one, In Those Jeans, is what I named it. She's a little wonky. And I explained this in my last video. I was actually working at a senior citizen home, and I did have downtime in between cleaning each floor and things like that, and my common areas. So I would take about a 10-minute break, and that's because I started having inflammation in my tooth. So they knew that if they saw me in a corner sitting for 10 minutes, I'm taking my lidocaine, kind of just swashing around, and until the swelling goes down, and then I get back to it. So in that 10-15 minute downtime in between taking the lidocaine, I whip out the project. I'm pretty sure it's my tension. One side they're both identical. The number count is identical. The hook I never changed, but I can tell on my good days when I wasn't in pain, she had a lot more fluff to her on this side. And on my bad days, when I was in pain and my tension was really tight, she feels tighter on this side. I have yet to wash it and block it, so I know for a fact, probably once I get her wet and drain her out, and I can probably do some stretches, mostly on one side. This side is okay, but I really need to tug her to hopefully open up. I kind of went a little deeper out for the collar because I didn't want my collar right here up along my neckline. So I started my collar here to get more of a flare up top. So that's my hexagon in those jeans. As you can see, my collar, and it is 2 different yarns. When my husband went and got this last year for Mother's Day, he now knows how to do dye lots, like reading the numbers. Thankfully, 2 dye lots were the same for the inside, and 2 dye lots were the same on the outside. So she's darker on the inside and fades out blue. So I love blue, but I don't own anything blue. So I went ahead and made this. Now this is my fluffier side. And here are my decreases. Now this one comes up to about here, and on the other side it comes up to here. Maybe there. So I know the number count is right. It's my tension. And this side, you can't tell, but yeah, she looks a lot more tighter. Her stitches look tighter in here. And same thing. So that's the back. I don't do mattress stitch. I don't have the patience for it. So I just do a single crochet putting them together. So that was my second one that we finished. After I was done, so this took me about maybe 4 hours altogether. That same day I finished my last video. Later on that evening, I started wanting to make something, but I just didn't know what. I think I recorded right before the Super Bowl. I know it was on Super Bowl Sunday. So I'm sitting there watching the Super Bowl. I want to start something. Well, I wasn't watching the Super Bowl. Excuse me, that's when I finished it. Earlier that day, I was looking through my yarn stash, and again, more Mother's Day yarn that I had, and I've used in the past before too. So I know, and I made a mistake. I said some of the yarn that I made on my other 2 hexagons were Red Heart. No, I need to rephrase that. They were Karen cakes that I had used. So my Frozen in Arendelle and my Guardians of the Galaxy colorways, well, that's not the name of them, but I named my sweaters those. They were actually Karen cakes, so need to fix that. My hexagons are all Karen cakes, except for the blue one you just saw. That one is Big Twist from Joann's. This is a Karen cake. No pattern, didn't follow any patterns. I know how to do an increase, you know, your 6, 12, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2. So when I saw that I liked it wide enough, I just kept going around. And I've had these for maybe 6 years. I got these a very long time ago at Michael's or Joann's. I think they were like $1.50. Now these are like maybe $7, $8. So she doesn't open up wide enough. Still learning how to do that. I kind of just did a long double crochet, single crochet to keep them on. But yeah, it's a little market bag, or if I have my tablet with me and my wallet and everything, just kind of do one of those, or when I'm out with the kids and they want to take all their little juicies and their Lego toys. So this took me about 8 hours. I just kept going around. I started off with double crochet. Then in the back loop, I did a half double crochet. I did about 7, 8, 9 rows of a half double crochet. Excuse me, I'm wrong. Double crochet. In the back loop, I did a half double crochet. Did 7, 8 rows about single crochet. Jumped back to about 2 rows of a half double crochet. And then went full in double crochet. At the end here, I went 1 round of half double crochet, 1 round of single. I did that because I didn't want it too stretchy here where most of the weight's going to be holding. So I made sure that around here the tension was a lot more tighter and a lot more thicker, So it's not pulling too much when there's weight in there. So yeah, about 8 hours to make that. This was a blueberry cake, Karen's cake. The Centro. So I did make 3 hats. As I said, I have the first 2 here. My husband is wearing the third one. We're going to use Kyle. And her name is Courtney, but I call her Karen. But she's a nice Karen. I like her. So with Kyle, this yarn. Ooh, forgive me. It's a yarn from Walmart. I can't remember the brand. I really haven't been shopping Walmart yarn in God knows how long. I don't think the last time I bought yarn from Walmart, I want to say maybe a year or 2 ago. I just stopped buying them. I don't buy them anymore. But anywho, this was a variegated yarn that I wanted to make a sweater out of, and never really got to. So look how she, I guess I want to say spiraled pool. And it is double, so it's nice and thick. We're going to show what the Centro has done. And look how she pulled in the inside, like really gorgeous. But you see, it's not drop stitches and they're not tuck stitches. The tension went weird, really weird. See? So because it's double insulated, I was like, okay, you can wear it out here. So, come on, Kyle. This one's a lot smaller. You can maybe for a kid you can double brim it like this, but again, it's not good. Yeah. So thank you, Kyle. So they have not been washed yet. I have when I have the time. But here in Georgia, it's starting to get just a little bit warmer, so I'm not too concerned about making sure that all my heavy knits are washed and ready to go for a cold day. So that's one of the hats. That was the second hat that I made off the machine. We'll use Karen because this one is double brimmed. Now, same with this one. You can see again, not drop stitches, not tuck stitches. But somewhere along the line, the tension became loose. And I know how to use the Centro. I had a loops and threads many years ago. That one I chucked because I didn't know that they have to be oiled, maintenance every once in a while. And I had her for a year. So, but the funny thing is, I think I only cranked out like 2 scarves and it just kept falling. Actually, since I got it out the box, I don't think I even made anything. I lie. I made 2 scarves for my kids. I'll have to pull those out. I might have shown them in a video before. If not, they're on my TikTok, Tina's Knitting Needle. And yeah, with that being said, they came out really nice, but my son pulled one apart and it unraveled. And so now that I've done my homework and research on how to work these machines and how to secure your garments and things like that, I'm more confident. And I know how to use the yarn guide. I know how to use the tension. But something from the jump, the box, as soon as she came out the box, she'd crank, and then like I was forcing her. So I was like, all right, that probably means that something's wrong with the inside of her, or her oil is dried up. We'll deal with it, but I'll get into that story afterward. So anywho, yeah, a lot of the tension is kind of off when I was trying to crank and I was forcing her. So she's double insulated as well, so we used the prettier side and it came out nice. I really wanted it to be white with a gray brim, and it came out this way, and I found a video on how to make a sock monkey, adding the red in here, so we're going to be doing that next. The yarn for this one, oh dear. Yeah, I'm very bad at labeling the yarn because I have so much yarn. I'm just trying to bust through my stash, so forgive me if I'm correct. Oh, here we go. So the gray is the merino wool, I got years ago. This was a limited edition from Loops and Threads. It is 55 superwash merino and 45% anti-pilling acrylic. So I used this one, and I used the white one as well. So she's super soft, beautiful yarn. Really love this yarn. I was going to make more either turtleneck sweaters, raglans, or I was going to do another My Comfy Sweater by Marley Bird. But again, my some odd reason, my little cigarette tracker, whatchamacallit, my weight's been fluctuating for the last couple of months. Like I said, in the beginning of 2023, I was at 200. By October, November, I hit 150. And these last 3 months, I put 20 back on. So I'm at 170. So it's like, I think because I've been sick, I've been kind of comfort eating. So, hey, I mean, it is what it is, you know. I love food. So anywho, I figured let me just lay off the sweaters for a little bit and maybe bang out some hats. I know I love wearing my beanies. My favorite's my sockhead hat. And I'm still working on that one, so I did put some work on her, but we're not going to show any of those. But anywho, let's get back to Karen. So I figured let me just make a beanie. I've had this yarn when it came out, I want to say about 2 or 3 years ago. Again, a lot of this is sitting in my stash, and I'm noticing yarn rot. That's where a lot of it is becoming thin and splitting very easily. Like I'm working on a waffle kind of scarf I showed. I did put some work on her, but it's taken me a lot longer because the more deeper I'm getting into the ball, I can see she's thinning bad. So I'm trying to just bust out this yarn. My wool, I realized I have to, as much as I love making socks, I've made about maybe 20 pairs in the last like 3 years. And I did the 2022, 12 pairs, 12 pairs, 1 pair a month. That was the longest I've ever done socks, and it's kind of, I like doing it on a whim, but it doesn't get cold enough. Like we get cold winters here, but I'm a big girl, my weight fluctuates, so I can't wear wool socks. Maybe around the house, okay, that's fine, but not outside. Just anywho, so I got to start busting through that soon, maybe making some scarves, but I want to get a mini centro and make like tube infinity scarves with them. Anyways, so I'm trying to bust through all my yarn. So if I can't remember the names, sorry, but this with the wool and the acrylic, I was super excited, super soft. There you go, Karen. Thank you. So, and I think we're going to use this as my, what do you call that? Thumbnail. So let's get these two up. Let's make sure we can see Kyle's face. Thanks, Kyle. Let's turn it so we can see it better. Sorry, y'all. You think I take a picture, but I rewatch my videos. I flip them around first, the correct way, and then I rewatch my videos. So, here we go. So, we have... Dang it. I really wish I knew what this yarn was called. I can't remember. And all the other yarns that I have for it, I don't have the labels. So, if you know what I'm talking about, it's the Walmart yarn that came out right after all the Red Hearts and stuff like that. So, here we go. Good. We're done. So, but yeah, so the machine did well, but as I said, you can see that I was forcefully cranking to get it to work. I'm just going to blast through my mini yarn haul. As I said, birthday gifts to myself was my vinyl. I got it today. Star-Lord came in yesterday. So I'm trying to quit smoking. And I have the nicotine gum, and I have this breathalyzer thingy that tells me how much CO2 whatever. As long as I check in every day, they gave me a little $20 gift card, you know, for registering and taking the time out to finally put my health first. So I was like, I took my little $20 gift card and I finally got him. So, Star-Lord. So those were my little hauls for my birthday. As far as Valentine's Day, of course, Bill's still beginning of the month. My husband went ahead and was like, hey, babe, got a few dollars, can spend, take you to go pick up some stuff. I said, okay, it's great, you know. It's not a lot, but I'm thankful because this machine was coming any day now. She was coming, and I'm like, it's perfect. I don't want to use any of my expensive stuff. Anyways, so whatever I was able to find, I could have swore I had a couple more. No, it's about right. It's about right. So I got 2 of the baby pattern, baby sport. I paid, it was originally $7. Clearance I got for $3. So these were the last, and I wiped out. This is the only stuff that they had left in the clearance section. So wasn't much, but again, I swiped it. I got my hands on it. So got 2 of those. I found another baby sport. They only have one of this color left, so kind of bummed out. Teal. Another baby sport here. As you can see, I started working with it, trying to cast it on the machine. Was not helping. And I get they say use 4 weight. You can use 3, but just don't be aggressive with it. It's like, just don't be aggressive. So we got this one. She's got a little bit of striping in there, I want to say. Yeah. So I managed to get the last 3 of those. And then the Loops and Threads Luxe Merino. I've never tried this before, but I'm pretty sure it's close to the other one here. Yeah, 55 Superwash Merino. This one is 45% acrylic, not anti-pilling. But she's super soft, really pretty. I like the color, light 3. I was able to get 2 of those. Okay. So we're done with that. That was my Valentine's Day haul from my hubby. Okay. So again, because the machine was coming in, I didn't want to go and use all my good stuff, even though the merino on this one, on Karen, that she's wearing, again, I caught her on clearance. I got them for like, I think $4.59 a couple years ago when they were limited edition. They were getting rid of them. It was going into the springtime and they were swapping out yarn. So regardless, I wanted to use it for like a really nice project, but again, hats are nice projects too. So anywho, I'm just going to blast through this here. So I went to the Dollar Tree, and nothing fancy. I got about 4 of these yellow ones, the Just Premier, or Premier Just Yarn. So I managed to get, 3 of these yellows, 2 of the oranges. I got 6 of the blue. As I said, I don't have a lot of blue, and I need to start incorporating blue into my wardrobe. Even though between Target and Michael's, I'll be wearing a lot of red, but that's okay. You know, again, crafting world. So anywho, I got about 6 of these blues, 2 gold, sadly, 1 pink. So I think the pink here, it's only 109 yards. My girls, they have a lot more hair than I do. And well, my hair's thinned out over the years, but I'll just turn this into a couple of pom-poms. Or if I can get more pink, then I'm great. So that's for that one. And the second bag, basically the same thing. This one, I think I got 2 of these browns. Pecan. So 2 of those. I believe I got 2 grays or slate. And just your normal 6 white and 6 black. So that's really it for that. Again, I didn't want to destroy the machine. I wanted to take care of her and did my research. Last purchase that I did, by Alt Knots. If you haven't seen her, go check her out. She does crocheting. I believe she knits, and I know she just got a Steinbacher to knit socks and all that other good stuff, and I think tubes, and she's amazing. I love her videos. That's who I watched on how to maintenance my machine, and she said that if you're gonna lube your machine, don't just use any kind of silicone blaster. You don't know these machines are plastic and they will break down eventually over time, and you do have to replace the pieces. Or me personally, I'm waiting on the crank to come in, but that cost me like $7. I didn't want to wait so long to spend $70-$80 on a machine. So, but then again, I paid $30. The crank cost me $10, and then $10 for each. So 30, 40, 50, 60. I'm already $30 over into the hole of paying for her. So we're 60. If I just would have waited another week or two and had 80, I could have just got her brand new. But again, it's going to come in due time that they're going to break down, and you have to maintenance them. So again, Alt Knots, ALTKNOTS. She's a YouTuber. She suggested O-ring. You can get this only on Amazon. I searched every store near me, and don't just use any greaser or silicone. This is dielectric food grade clean. So these are $9.99, I believe, on YouTube. As she said, a little bit goes a long way. Regardless, I got two. I'd rather have it than not have it at all. So that was one of the purchases that I did. As a matter of fact, let me pause and get the crank. Alrighty, I'm back. So, my Centro, I got my little Cash App sticker, slapped her on there. She's not together. So when I first got it, the first hat cranked out, which was the gray and white that Karen's wearing. Okay. Second one was the Walmart yarn. Okay, great. And it's really going to drive me nuts not knowing that yarn. I have to have a label somewhere. As I said, if you shop in Walmart, you know exactly what yarn I'm talking about. Oh, I'm sorry, and I'm wrong. I love this yarn was the white for that brim. I love this yarn. That was the yarn for the brim. I'm trying to collect all of my tabs this year to see exactly what it is. I'm going through how many skeins and stuff I'm busting through. I'm not doing it for the socks or wool. Anyways, so the second one was the variegated one. Third one, I did use Karen 1 pound to make a gray solid hat for my husband. He took that hat. I started working with the Karen cake. The cinnamon, it's a hard word for me to say, cinnamon swirls. Oddly, that kept dropping, tugging. It just was not working for me. Now, the funny thing is, I was doing my waist yarn perfectly fine. So I'm thinking at this point, it's the yarn. It's the yarn. It has to be the yarn. But no, I remembered Alt Knots. I went in, I took her apart. Unfortunately, I had to wait a week for that to come in. The silicone. So I know it said don't use anything. I did some homework. I found a silicone blaster that's closest to it. Still, I had dielectric, but it wasn't food grade. And I put just very, very minimum on there. It's the teeth on this little fucker. Excuse my French, but there is a nick in one of them in here somewhere. It's okay. It's towards the end. It should be fine. I greased her up, and I'm going. And I know some machines, it says that when it gets up to either the black pins or the white pins, because it's changing the counter, it knows to kind of and then keep going. No, this son of a love does not want to crank. Like, she will not go at all. Something's not right. I went on to many, many different sites. I also looked at other people taking apart their machines, and every single machine that got taken apart, this son of a bitch was black. It's black. So I'm wondering at this point, is this for a 40 pin? I think Temu is getting these machines taken back, or they're Frankensteining them at this point. And yeah, I'm calling Temu out on this one because they really peed me off, okay? Reaching out to their customer service. And then the actual company, Vika or Vilka, was ready to go ahead and help me. And then just out of nowhere, yeah, nope, not our problem. So, thank you. I don't think I'm going to be ordering from Temu for quite some time. They they really grinded my fucking gears. Pun intended. Anyways, so at this point, she's not going at all. And before I pull a loops and threads, because that day I was making something with baby sport yarn, and I was for 5 hours going. Out of nowhere, the machine just grinded and froze and locked up. And when I went to just maybe go back an inch or two to just see, did I get caught somewhere, it just fell apart. I took the machine. I was so pissy that day. I was probably having a glass of wine too. We don't drink anymore. But anyways, I took the machine. I just chucked it right onto my damn driveway. I was ready to back up my car. My husband was like, no, chill. Just put it in the garbage. We don't need plastic everywhere. The kids come outside here and play. So, okay. I took her apart for the third time. And instead of putting it together, I try to manually see, with this along the black teeth in here, the black tube, and it just jumping. So I've realized that Temu or Vika, Vilka are just slapping pieces together and selling them. No wonder why I got it for $26. Now they're back up to $60. So I took her apart. I can already see that she already had a crack in one of the plastics where the screw goes. One part under here won't screw fully. So I went ahead and just put a little bit of silicone, harden it back up so I can twist it so everything works fine on here. So she goes around just right, just fine. When this is in there, she's not going. So I bit the bullet because I was going to return it at first. They were like, well, why don't you reach out to the company? I reached out to the company. I said, hey, listen, the machine is perfectly fine. She's greased up. I know how to work the machine. I know people complain about the counter. I think you're not putting it together correctly. But then again, correct me if I'm wrong, it could probably eventually go out. Every time I put her back together, I've had no problem with the counter. The teeth, perfectly fine. The greasing of it, perfectly fine. It does have a nick up here. I kind of took a little bit of a file to it so it doesn't shred my yarn. So, again, fine. I said, hey, listen, the machine is perfect. It's the gear. I'm pretty sure this is for a 40 pin. I need the correct black gear, which is a 48 pin. They got back to me 24 hours because different time zones. They said, yeah, just give us a couple of days. Let's see if we have any parts in the back. If not, give us a little bit of time. We'll get you the correct gear. I'm super ecstatic at this point. I'm like, okay, great. I don't want to have to send the whole entire unit back. And then if I order another one, let's say the same one comes back to me, or another Frankenstein, or it could be even worse. I can get a worse machine. They get back to me in 24 hours. We need you to go ahead and return it back to Temu and let them deal with it. Or let's see if they'll replace the part. I'm like, but Temu referred me to y'all. This is your machine. They said, yeah, there's nothing we can do for you. Instead of somebody saying, hey, I'm sorry, we don't have the part, unfortunately, you'll have to return it if since we don't have it. Or refer me. And I know that they don't want to refer anybody because they rather just keep making money probably on Frankensteins. At this point, I told them, I said, you know what? Forget about it. I'm just going to return it. I will never order from your particular anymore. And I think I'm just going to lay off of Temu. As I said, I got a little pissed off. I was like, there has to be a piece. I go onto eBay. Yeah, they're cheaper, $7 or whatever. I don't want to go with somebody 3D printing. Don't get me wrong, they probably work, they're probably great. I don't want to go that route. I found Jamit. So I went through Jamit, and they have their own pieces, and then they have central pieces. I went ahead, $7.99, but I paid for the shipping, came out to like $13. So I went and ordered the piece last week. It's still in China, so I'm probably not going to see it for another week or two. So the machine I've had now for almost 2 weeks, I have to wait another week or two. So this baby's been going to sit in here now almost 4 or 5 weeks, and 2 weeks from now, not being able to be used. I did hot wash everything, wiped everything down, took off all the old grease. She's sitting here in my little kit and caboodle box, or her little screws. I kept them together. Screwdriver so I don't lose it. And yeah, so that's that. I know how to work these machines. I've been wanting one for quite some time. And the other reason why I've wanted one, even if I'm not selling anything, nobody's buying, it's fine, I don't care. But I don't have the time that I would love to sit there. And knitting takes forever. Let's be realistic. Knitting does take forever, okay? I kind of just want to be able to bang out some hats for the kids, some scarves, maybe even gifts for babies, or, my daughter's friends at school. She's 9 years old, and they love their little scarves and their little hats and their little scrunchies on their wrists. So this is perfect for me to just bang out a project, especially if I'm dead tired and I want to knit, but I don't have the finger capacity. Just crank her up, or even get one of the drill bits and stuff like that. So, but anywho, I can't wait to test her out with her new piece. God willing, that's what it is. If that piece don't work, then I'm gonna have to just chuck it, because I've already went past my 14 days at this point to return it. So she'll go in the garbage. Lesson learned, $30 wasted, and I might just wait till Christmas to get me an Addie King. So get the monsters of all monsters. That is it for my video. I still didn't think I was going to go 45 minutes in, but I did want to put out there, my little purchase here, what was wrong with her. Yeah, so, and like I said, my little haul, what I've actually finished. It'll probably be another week or two, maybe pushing it 3 for my next video. Again, I start Michael's tomorrow morning. Full blown probably Thursday. Tomorrow's to finish up my paperwork and get my uniform and kind of walk me through the store, even though I'm familiar with Michael's since I've been living here for 12. I've been living here in Georgia for 12 years. I've been going to Michael's 12 years, so I'm kind of familiar with the store. So probably Thursday, I'll be back to back with both my jobs. 11 o'clock at night, I get out from Target, try to get in bed within 45 minutes to be back up and at work at 6 a.m. at Michael's. Thankfully, my jobs are like literally right around the corner. If it's part-time, I'll be home by 10, 11, still get a 4 or 5 hour nap in before the kids get home, dinner done, and back out to work. So I'm going to be a lot of time consumed between family and working, which is completely fine. I love it. I need to work, I need to keep moving. But as far as projects go, it's going to be very scarce on my end. So that's another reason why I got the Centro, because at least if I'm sitting here just cranking out some pretty little hats and some pretty little, pom-poms and some cute ass, scarves, I really want to make some of those pieces that the girls make here with the panel and then the little, I don't know what they're called, but it has like a half a panel here and then like the bell bottom kind of sleeves, something cute over their tops. And eventually make me a long paneled dress. So, for the summertime. But anyways, so that's another reason why I got this machine, because I know I want to keep up with my crafting. I want to keep up with my YouTube channel. And how can I do that if I don't have the time? So something like this, it's kind of fun to play with, a new little toy too as well. Because after a while, all the knitting needles and the crochet hooks, and my crochet hooks are wearing. I've had them for quite some time. I have to replace those eventually. Not so much my knitting needles. My Chow Goose, they are in perfect condition. I really, treasure my Chow Goose. I got them back in 2017 when they were $120. Now you're looking at $2 and change for these things. So I was blessed 6-7 years ago, however many years ago it was, to get them. I take care of them. Anyways, but I do thank you all for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed what you saw, what you heard, and everything that I've been working on. You can find me on my social media handles. I do have Instagram, but I'm not much on it. I believe it's Tina's_knitting_needle. Facebook is Tina's Knitting Needle. And I'm mostly on TikTok. TikTok is where I just, get my little 15 seconds in for the day, bam, done. And then I'll take those shorts and sometimes I'll upload them to YouTube. So between YouTube and between TikTok, it's Tina's Knitting Needle. Again, thank you for stopping by, and I will hopefully see you guys in the next one, maybe 2 to 3 weeks. Alrighty then. Y'all have a great day and enjoy the rest of your week. Bye.